Yes, sir. Welcome back to another edition of Fast Break Bets presented by BettingPros. You know me, no voice, no guy. It's me, really real, villain real, Terrell Furman Jr. here at church service. Well, if I didn't add on any extra plays from the pod, then we would have a nice sweep sound effect for the day. Don't get to say that though. I'm not going to play it. Social media plays didn't go, but man, we right on the read, right on the money in the fast break bets pod picks. 2-0 we go. Austin Reaves goes over 6.5. He goes over 7.5. Even if you got 7.5 at some plus money, you still cash that. Reaves is an assist machine, and shout out to him. Very good read there. Happy about that. And then also the over in the Bucks and the Pelicans game. The line dropped over the course of the day and made me a little nervous, but I'm glad I stuck to my guns because it was Blazers. It was always Blazers, and the Blazers end up pulling away in the second half. They end up getting a win in the first half. And yeah, so they just kept scoring, put up 125 points, and it just felt like the Bucks really just could not have enough answers. This Blazers team gets up for the Bucks. Like they completely get up for Dame coming back to Portland, get up for playing Dame, get up for playing the Bucks, and the Bucks kind of walked through there and walked out with an L again. So here we are. We go 2-0 in those two plays, and then I mean it's just downhill from there. So here's my feelings about me and college basketball this season. I feel like there's not much in between. I think I'm either right about a play. Well, I mean, it's of course you're right or you're wrong, but it feels like when I watch the game, I'm like, oh yeah, I was completely right about that. BYU, not the case. I will say that. BYU went into over they were leading the game, let them come back, it went to overtime, like all of this. We make it out of there with a magical cover, okay. But see, like over okay, if you're really rocking with me, in the Discord we played UCF over the weekend and that cashed and that was nowhere near sweat. I feel like majority of my college bets are either nowhere near sweat like that or it's like Tennessee where I'm dead complete wrong. Like absolutely complete wrong. Like the most wrong that I could possibly be. I am that wrong. It's like I would say it's 40% I'm dead wrong, another 40% I'm dead right, and then there's that 10% where you have the BYU 3.5s out there. And I just can't get a good read and feel on college basketball right now. I'm gonna keep going. Hopefully, we start building that towards the tournament coming up in March. But I'm just very confused. It feels like college basketball is like very 50-50, iffy with me. And I don't like that. And then I added a Jazz and Warriors overplay. And I did that before the injury report. Injury report came out. And I probably wouldn't have bet that after that. That's my bad. I probably should have waited till the injury report there. So you make mistakes, you live, you learn, whatever. So I don't really care about the Jazz Warriors game. That just was I understand what I did wrong there. But college basketball, I feel like I have to get college basketball together. I really do. All right, enough of that. Let's get to talking about the two plays that I want to give you today. But first, before we get that, you heard me mention UCF in the Discord. Well, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you should, because you should be in that Betting Pros Discord. Join that Betting Pros Discord, bettingpros.com/chat. I add extra plays in there all the time. I drop my weekend bets in there all the time. All of those extra stuff, you can get it for free over there in the Betting Pros app. So why not join? Why not be a part of the community? Why? Why not? Why not? I would love to know why not. Why not? So, hey, go join that Betting Pros app, bettingpros.com/chat. All right, let's get into it. We are fading one of my favorite players today, and I don't look forward to it. But I mean, I have a pretty good read on this team. San Antonio Spurs are at home playing the Los Angeles Clippers. Clippers laying 3.5 here. 223 is the total. Big injury news. I don't really have any big injury news. Jordan Miller's questionable for the Clippers. So here are my thoughts on this one. We have my guy Devin Vassell and Wemby with the San Antonio Spurs coming back from travel across the pond all the way over there in France. They played a 2-game series. They handled business like we thought in the first game against the Clippers. And then guess what? Deja vu principles kicked in. The favorite dogged them the second, and the Pacers was able to blow them out in the second game. Now they're back home after that trip. So we're fading them coming off of a long road trip. And I mean long road trip, not as in long road trip, as in they've been gone for a while. They've actually been away from home from what they played that Memphis game at home on the 17th. So, well, is actually kind of what's this, the 29th? Yeah, that's about 2 weeks. So they've been away from home for about 2 weeks now. So that is rather long. But I was talking more of the mileage. They went all the way to France, all the way to France, and they were there for some days. Like, it wasn't like they went to France for a day and came back. They was over there in Europe for some days. So it's a long travel spot, a long away from home spot. You come back home and you're you think that you're gonna go and you're gonna have a great performance, but it's like you just got back in your bed, all of that. Talk about backing teams off of long road trips in terms of duration, 5, 6 games in the NBA. You were back away from home. That's like the last thing you're thinking about is a basketball game in terms of getting up. You're happy to be home, happy to play for the crowd, but that's always been a letdown spot. It's been a letdown spot. You have these long road trips, and you're like, oh, your team's gonna get back at home finally. No, they get back and they're sleepy at the wheel. Like, they're super sleepy at the wheel still. It's kind of so I say all that to say I am concerned about the travel spot for the Spurs. But the even more concerning thing than the travel spot is the fact that their bench is horrible. The bench is bad. I don't believe in the Spurs bench. I don't believe in a lot of their assets. I think that they have something, of course, best player Devin Vassell out there is hooping, and then they went and got him a nice complimentary piece in some 7'4" giant, Victor Wembanyama, who some people are saying is a generational talent. Yeah, I agree, but I'm a Devin Vassell guy, so of course I still got Devin Vassell one. It's really, really hard. I know I'm an island of one, but Devin Vassell has cashed so many props for me. That's my guy. And then you got Keldon Johnson, and I think that's a good piece. But like, Champagny has been okay. Sohan has been in and out of the lineup, but he's been good when he's all the way on. And you're looking at a lot of these pieces coming off the bench. Malachi Branham will play some minutes sometimes. He's been okay at best. Nothing that really, really is terrifying you. They've struggled with bench scoring over the course of the entire season. They got nothing from their bench in that game against the Pacers, and that's why that game ended up going the way it did. It seems like they got up for Wemby's first game in France and said, "All right, that's it. You're only going to get one." So yeah, I mean, Trae Jones has been okay. Like, it's just a bunch of guys that I think are very, very okay. Trae Jones has been okay. Bassey, uh, it hasn't been anything good. It hasn't been anything good. I do think they have something there in Stephon Castle, though, and I'm glad they're starting to give him more minutes. But it seems like once you get out of the starting five, you're grasping at straws for who's going to give you a lot of attention in terms of scoring the basketball. And then you come back and you look at the Clippers right now. And I think this is I think this is going to be the best version of the Clippers we see all season, even though they're coming off of a loss, and I think they're mad about that loss. This Clippers team now has Kawhi Leonard back, and Kawhi Leonard looks like he's playing pretty decent minutes, 28 minutes per game in that last game. I know they're still working him in, but 28 minutes is a pretty solid contribution. Kevin Porter Jr. has been playing pretty solid for them. They've gotten a lot of good minutes out of Amir Coffey. They play really, really solid defense. Like the Clippers are coming off of a in-season revenge spot where they got blew out by this team the last time they played them. Norman Powell's been playing amazing for them. James Harden's starting to wake up, and then Zubac just had 25 and 16 against the Suns, and now he gets Wemby, who has struggled with very good post players, big players, and he's allowed them to be able to go over their total. And if Zubac can go be one of the top rebounders in the league that he thinks he is, then yeah, I absolutely think that this is a game that the Clippers are gonna have something to say. They're gonna be mad that they just took that close loss where they were able to battle back against Phoenix, and they lost that game. They've been really, really good against the number this season. You look at the Clippers, 29 and 17 this season against the spread. They're 7-3 against the spread in their last 10 games. They are 16 and 6 as a favorite this season. Whereas you have the San Antonio Spurs, 21 and 22 against the spread. They are 3 and 7 in their last 10 games against the number, 10 and 13 at home. So I think it's pretty much easy to say that while I do think that the Spurs can be competitive with the starting unit, I think the bench production that they get is not going to be enough to keep them in this game, and the Clippers are going to be able to pull away with it. This is only 2 possessions. You're only laying 3.5 here. I feel good about the Clippers. So I'm taking Clippers, laying 3.5 here. I think they're the better team. I think they're by far and away the better team. I think the Spurs also struggle with good teams, and they're very middle of the pack right now. I would be concerned that this game is in San Antonio, but I really think this is a bad travel spot as well after just coming the first game, just getting back from France. Yeah, I'm fading the Spurs. Give me the Clippers, laying 3.5. All right, for a player prop, we're going to the Pacers and the Pistons game. Pacers laying 6.5 here, 229.5 is the total. Taking Ben Mathurin to go over 13.5 points here. Prop bet cheat sheet likes it, and I like it. 5-star bet rating 16.3 is the projection for Ben Mathurin today. 67% cover probability, and that jibes because Mathurin's averaging 16 points per game this season. He's been very good to this number. 8 of his last 15 games, he's gone over the number. Now, he has had some inconsistency over the past 10 games, a lot of up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. But I think this is a really good spot for him to get going again because looky here at his last 5 games against the Detroit Pistons: 16 points, 19 points, 15 points, 30 points, 15 points. He has gone over 13.5 in 5 straight against the Pistons. He feels comfortable playing against them. I think he has an ability to slash and get to the rim and really, really disrupt defensively what the Pistons have going on. And the Pacers are going to need all levels of scoring that they can get in this game because I don't think the Pacers have a good defense. And I think that the Pistons here are going to go in there and say, hey, we're about to go try to run a score up on the Pacers and make this without a doubt because we know we can hit another level defensively. And that's just a level that the Pacers cannot hit. And so they're going to need the players that feel comfortable, the players that can consistently get to the rim, get to the basket, get to the foul line, and be able to score. And that's Ben Mathurin. I think that it's going to be a lot of Pascal Siakam and Ben Mathurin in this game. I think Ben Mathurin's line is way too low. And looking at the last 5 games against the Pistons, I think you would agree that it's way too low. So I'm taking Ben Mathurin to go over 13.5 points here today. I think he's going to have a good one. He's getting the minutes, and slight concern here for them as well with the travel spot here coming back home uh and playing this game. Little bit of concern there, but ultimately Ben Mathurin's been very, very good. He has been over this line in 60% of his games, 70% for the season. I'm sorry, 60% of his games in the last 5, 70% for the season. I am really, really digging the Ben Mathurin play. I think he's going to come in here and he's going to be able to do enough. He's averaging 15 points per game for the entire month. Like I said, I know it's been the up and down, up and down, up and down, but last game, He didn't get there because they were absolutely destroying the San Antonio Spurs. I think Ben Mathurin can come back to the U.S. here today and have a really good game. He's been really, really good to this number. I think this number is just way too low. So this is me betting the number. I think this is way too low. I think this should be 15 and a half. This should be, yeah, this should probably be 15 and a half. So, all right, give me Ben Mathurin to go over 13 and a half points. All right. With that, a little bit of a contradiction here. Take fate in one team, coming back from Paris, and I'm backing a player. So hopefully Ben Mathurin comes through, and hopefully the Spurs do not. So 2 plays that I have for you today are Clippers laying 3.5 here, and Ben Mathurin over 13.5 points. All right, with that, I'm at really real __. Give me a follow at BettingPros on X and TikTok as well, at BettingPros NFL on Instagram and YouTube.com/BettingPros, where you have how many January. Okay, so do y'all still when y'all think about what months have 31 days in it, do you do the knuckle trick? Like, is that something y'all do where you, because I do January, because every knuckle has 31 days. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. Like, so I do it like that. I wonder if anybody else does it like that. But literally every time I try to figure out, dang, does that month have 31 days? I just go back to the knuckle trick. Am I a child? Yes. Does it matter? No. But like I say all that to say, 31 days in January, you have 2 more days. 2 more days after this. Go ahead and get those entries in for the Trae Young jersey. Subscribe to Betting Pros, comment on any Fast Break Bets video, and you have an entry to win that Trae Young jersey. So make sure you do that. All right. With that, that's it. I have nothing else to say, nothing else to do. No other way of ending the podcast. Just going to like this. We are out of here.